Hello, and welcome to the Sci-Fi Christian Book Reviews, brought to you by the Sci-Fi-Christian.com. I am Ben DeBono, and I don't want to record this review. I'll tell you why. Not because I don't enjoy speaking to you guys about the things I'm reading and thinking, but this is a very disappointing review for me, and on a number of different levels. I have finished book 2 in Neal Stephenson's Baroque cycle, and I will not be going on to book 3. Maybe I should back up a little bit. I'm a huge Neal Stephenson fan, if you've watched these videos for a while, you'll know. Really got into him big time last year. Loved Anathema, loved Cryptonomicon, loved everything I've read by him. Really have. And then, I started to read the Baroque cycle last year. And if you watch my review on Quicksilver, you know that I didn't give it a star rating, because I honestly was not sure what I thought by the end of that book. It was so ambitious and big and fascinating, yet enigmatic, and it didn't feel like a normal Stephenson's book for me, so I was kind of trying to adjust to that. So there's just a lot of factors, and I felt like, I need to read more of this series before I can really evaluate it. Well, by the end of book 2, I feel ready to evaluate it. And in the infamous words of Kevin Sorbo, I am disappointed. Or should I say, disappointed! Okay, that's your last Kevin Sorbo impersonation for this video. But here's the question that I have. I'm not sure who I am or what I am disappointed in. There are a number of possibilities. Number one, it could be that Neal Stephenson just wrote a bad series of books. And that's likely in the sense that this is a very different sort of trilogy than the other things that he's written. I mean, things like Anathema, Cryptonomicon, he was able to take huge ideas, make them very engaging, very entertaining, huge books, but yet a fast-paced read, and this didn't do that. The big ideas are there, as he's talking about this kind of Enlightenment era, and he's dealing with issues of natural philosophy and economics and everything, but they didn't seem presented in an engaging way. And they didn't seem entertaining even in the slightest. So it could be that the onus is on him. He wrote a bad book. But on the other hand, there's a lot of people who have loved this series, who have been big Stephenson fans and read this and felt like, yeah, this is, just as great as everything else he's written. So it could be that, or, another possibility, number 2, the failure, the disappointment is me as a reader. Maybe I'd gotten so used to Stephenson being fun and funny at the same time as being thought-provoking and engaging in everything. And maybe I just failed as a reader because I wanted fun, and couldn't accept this book for what it was. So that's a possibility. And to a certain extent, I think there's truth in that, because I do feel disappointed that this is so different than his other stuff. But on the other hand, I have a lot of books that I have read and loved that aren't fun, that aren't entertainment. I mean, if you listen to me here or on the podcast or wherever, you know that I put entertainment very far below ideas. I think ideas and thoughts, I want a book to be about something. I don't need it to be entertaining. And I feel like that's not just something that I say, but something that I have proven through my reading choices, through the books that I like, time and again. I read things like Dostoevsky, his stuff. It's not entertaining, but it's great. I've been reading Plato's dialogues. For the most part, not entertaining, but they're definitely worth your time. Just stuff like that. And so you know what, that doesn't quite pan out. It could be that the ideas are good and fascinating, but they just didn't click with me. You know, and that's a possibility. I'm not that interested in the Enlightenment, to be quite honest. But then again, I wasn't that interested in something like Currency before I read Cryptonomicon, and I was fascinated by that. So the long and the short of it is, I don't know what happened here. All I know is that these books didn't work for me. Quicksilver did not work for me. The Confusion, which is the second one, did not work for me. And yeah, there's only one more book left, but, you know, it's 1,000 more pages, and I'm not going to spend time on something that just is fundamentally not working for me. But see, even that statement bothers me, because I think that so often as audiences, we have this very selfish attitude where the book has to work for me and it has to fit with what I want, and, you know, we're not willing to come to a book and accept it on its terms, you know, accept that it's not going to entertain us constantly, but that it's going to show us interesting things. And I really believe that. I really, really believe that. It goes back to what I was saying a moment ago about choosing stuff that's not necessarily entertaining, but is good to read, and good fiction. And there's enough people that have genuinely praised and loved this series to suspect that that's the case. But yet it didn't work for me, you know, and I find myself at the end of 2 books not caring about a single thing that's happening in the book, not interested in the ideas that he's throwing out, not engaged by the plot in the slightest, not connecting with the style or the characters or his writing or anything. And that really bothers me, because I don't know what to do with this. It just doesn't fit with how I think about books. You know, I don't hate the book. There are moments where it did engage me, where I do think it was a good book, but not enough to keep slog through another 1,000-page tome. So I don't know what to do with this one. I don't know what to make of it. I didn't like it. I don't like the book. That's really the long and the short of it. And it sucked. You know, I hate to say it, but right now that's how I feel. And I would, you know, I'm not above coming back to books again that I haven't liked in the past. There's multiple books I've tried to read, and sometimes, you know, after the second, third attempt, have really succeeded and come to love. And maybe that'll be the case. Maybe I will try this one and it will click with me and I'll get it. But right now, I don't, and it doesn't. I would not discourage someone from trying it, especially if you're a Stephenson fan. I hope you do read it. I hope you love it. I hope you see everything that I am not able to see in this book. But I don't get it. And that bothers me. It disappoints me. I'm disappointed in myself as a reader. I'm disappointed in these books. And it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth when something like this happens, especially with a trilogy that I expected to love. I guess what maybe to sum it up, you know, I mentioned that a lot of people have enjoyed these books. You know, there's a lot of things out there that a lot of people enjoy and I don't. You know, let's take stupid Marvel movies as an example, which for the most part, with one or two exceptions, I really have not enjoyed. But they're hugely famous. Well, I can point to reasons why I don't enjoy them that I think are very legitimate. I think they're shallow movies. You know, and if you're a Marvel fan, just, you know, the point isn't to argue Marvel. I'm just giving an example here. But I think they're shallow movies. I don't think they provide a great deal of depth. I don't think that they're engaging intellectually and all that. So I feel very comfortable in saying, yeah, I don't like that. I feel like they put entertainment above everything else, and I don't like stuff that does that. And who cares if it's popular? In this case, this is a book where I feel like it's none of that. I don't like the reasons why I don't like this book. Maybe that's what I'm trying to get at here. Is that when it comes to something like the Marvel movies, I can say, okay, I don't like those, and I'm okay with why I don't like them. I feel good about why I don't like them. I feel, at peace with my convictions as far as preferences and my philosophy of storytelling and my philosophy of story and the way I look at the world. All of that comes together and says I'm okay with why I don't like those. I don't feel okay with why I don't like this series. But I don't. I think Stevenson's a great writer. But it's not working for me in this one. So, to sum up, I'm going around in circles. I'm disappointed. Wanted to love this series. Hasn't happened. Maybe I'll revisit it sometime. But I'm going to give both Quicksilver and The Confusion 3 stars because I do think there's enough there that's good and engaging. But not enough to go on and read the final book. It just isn't working for me. So, 3 stars for the Baroque Cycle. And that's optimistic. The hope that I'll be able to maybe come back to the series later in life and find what I'm missing. Right now, honestly, I feel more like a 2-star, but so I'll say 2, 2.5, 3, somewhere in there. I don't want to dump on these books. There's enough people that have loved them that I feel like there is something there and I just don't see it. So 3 stars is what I'm going to give it. And I hope if you read it, you see what I don't. So that's all for now. A disappointed Ben DeBono, and this is the Sci-Fi Christian Book Reviews. Goodbye.